Everyone wants progress to be exciting. We want highlights to post. We want results people notice. We start imagining the day when we can show off our hard work and maybe, just maybe, people will think highly of us. So we keep at it. We try a new routine. We feel that first spark, build a little bit of momentum, taste a little success, and then boom, we fall off. And it always feels dramatic when it happens, like the brakes got slammed and every bit of progress disappeared. But the truth is, progress doesn't break in those big dramatic moments. It breaks in the small ones, the boring ones. And most of the time, we don't even realize we're slipping, just drifting a little further from the progress we thought we were making. We picture our road to improvement like it's going to be this epic cinematic journey, boss fight after boss fight. But in reality, it's nothing like that. It's not epic. It's not thrilling. It's quiet, steady, pretty tame. And honestly, most of the time, it's boring. And that's the part no one talks about. Because we don't think the boring parts matter. Oh, I can skip one workout. It's boring. I can skip writing today. I'm bored of it. I can let this habit streak break. It's not exciting anymore. But those moments of boredom, the ones where we tend to drift, are the exact moments where growth actually happens. Just because it doesn't feel magical doesn't mean it's not meaningful. We dismiss the impact because boredom doesn't feel dangerous. Doesn't feel like a setback. It feels harmless, really, almost forgettable. And that's why we underestimate how powerful boredom really is. Because it works the same way in video games. I mean, you don't lose progress in boss fights, you lose it in tiny choices leading up to them. In a game like Arc Raiders, the run doesn't fall apart because of the final extract, it just falls apart because you didn't repair your gear, you skipped the ammo, or rushed past the slow, simple things that actually keep you alive. Real life is no different. Progress doesn't fall apart from one huge mistake. It slips in the tiny choices. Like when you hit snooze again because one more minute of sleep's not gonna hurt. Or when you say, I'll start tomorrow for the fourth tomorrow in a row. Or when the notebook stays closed because opening it just feels dull. Even when you just skip those 5 minutes, that would have kept the habit alive. That's when progress falls apart. And it makes me wonder, what if the life you want isn't built in the exciting moments at all, but in the boring ones you keep treating like they don't matter? Before we go any further, hi, I'm Gummy. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here. If you're getting something from this, liking the video helps me more than you'll ever realize. And if you want to stick around, I'd love for you to subscribe, but only if I've earned it. Now, let's dive deeper. We treat boredom like it's just a feeling, but it's actually a signal. You feel boredom whenever you've been chasing some type of result, satisfaction, momentum, progress. And when that boredom creeps in, we assume the task isn't worthwhile anymore. So our brain goes searching for that early spark, that day one excitement we once felt. And that's how the cycle forms. New goal, we come out flying, the excitement fades, boredom hits, we abandon that goal, and we start something new. It happens because boredom shows up the moment the novelty disappears. Your brain isn't getting the same dopamine boost it did in the beginning, so it labels the task as less interesting. But here's the twist. This is the actual phase where real growth begins. Science gives us a few clear explanations. Dopamine spikes during novelty, not repetition. Once the task becomes familiar, dopamine drops, and we interpret that drop as boredom. The brain is wired for efficiency, and when something becomes predictable, it reduces that reward response because it assumes you don't need that extra push anymore. This novelty to boredom shift is intentional. Cognitive science calls it the hedonic shift, where excitement drops so the brain can conserve energy for real learning, and habits only form after novelty fades. Boredom isn't a barrier, it's literally the doorway to consistency, the doorway to progress. And I see this in my life all the time. I've tried workout plans, diets, perfect morning routines, and the pattern is always the same. I enjoy the beginning, I love the novelty, and then boredom shows up and I start to drift. Honestly, I see it even more with video games. I start a game, enjoy the intro, and the moment the excitement fades, it ends up buried in my Steam library forever. And the funny thing is, that's why I avoided Skyrim for so long. Everyone talked about how big it was, how open it was, how many slow stretches there were, and I told myself, I'll get bored, I don't think I'll ever play it, and I won't ever finish it. But now, in this stage of my life, I have such an itch to give it a go for the first time. Because it's slow, because it's quiet, because the parts I used to see as boring might actually be the parts that I need. Kind of ironic that I avoided the game for the exact reason I'm now learning to appreciate in real life. You've probably felt this loop too. You start a book, read 2 chapters, and somehow end up scrolling on your phone. You try a new hobby, love the first week, then drop it. You set a small goal, drink some more water, stretch, walk more, and the moment it becomes easy, you forget about it. This loop really shows up everywhere. So if you're tired of repeating it, here are 5 ways I hope to give you to turn boredom from a barrier into a building block. Number 1, reframe boredom as a progress signal. When that hedonic shift hits, when that spark fades, don't take it as a loss. Take it as a sign the real work is beginning. The dopamine isn't showing up because the task stopped being new, and that means you're finally into the growth zone. So tell yourself, I'm bored, but this means I'm actually building something. Yeah, it's not exciting. It might not even be motivating really, but it's meaningful. And it's usually the first indicator that you're growing. Number 2, let boredom strengthen the routine. Showing up when it's boring reinforces the habit in a way that excitement could never. Some days won't be satisfying. Some days it'll feel super stale. But leaning into that boredom is what locks that routine in place. When you can show up in the dull moments, you're not just building the task, you're building yourself. Number 3, add 5%. A lot of times, boredom means the challenge is simply too low. So add a small, maybe 5% bump in the challenge. A little more weight, a few more minutes, a slightly harder route or routine. Not enough to overwhelm you, just enough to re-engage your mind. I don't know what that 5% will look like for you, but try adding it. A tiny adjustment keeps you in the game without abandoning the goal. Number 4, let boredom clarify your intentions. When the excitement wears off, boredom forces you to ask, why am I doing this? Sometimes the answer is novelty, or it could be simply validation. But sometimes the answer is deeper. I'm doing this because it matters to who I want to become. Boredom doesn't always mean stop. Boredom doesn't always mean quit and jump to the next thing. Most of the time, it's a signal to realign. Realign to your identity. And finally, number 5, use boredom as identity fuel. Anyone can show up when it's exciting. But showing up when you're bored, that's identity work, and that's tough. But that's you saying, this is who I am now. Not someone chasing sparks, not someone hopping between goals, hobbies, processes, and routines. Someone who shows up in the quiet moments, the ones that actually build your future self. At the end of the day, boredom isn't the enemy. It's not a sign you're on the wrong path. It's usually the sign that you're finally on a real one. You're not built in the exciting moments. You're not built in the breakthroughs. You're not built in those highlights. You're built in the repetition. You're built in the small moments. You're built in the boring. If this video made you pause for a second, tell me one boring, quiet thing you want to show up for in the next month or so. And please do. I read every comment. I love seeing what you guys have to say. And if this video helped you at all, liking the video really does help it spread to more people. And if you want to see more videos like this, I really would love for you to subscribe and stick around. But once again, only if I've earned it. I'm Gummy. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.